My name is Silver Wanda Gizman. I'm working on the project located in the World called Contribute to Society. The project is called Government Aid. I am a student in Suffern, New Hampshire, in the Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at SUNY. And I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a street interview video I am working on for a goal called Government and the project. The interview will be used to create a street interview and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose, okay? This interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluation in College for America staff will have access. Do you have any question? Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes. Yeah. I, Frederico Kemba, give me my informative consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the student academy work.
Okay, here there are 4 questions that I'm going to ask you. The first question: what are the 3 branches of government? Don't know. What does each branch do? Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name the third party? You don't know? So what is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
Done.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you too.
My name is Seru Mondagijmana. I'm working on a project located in the Gold Coast Contribute to Society. The project is called the Government. I am a student in the Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at SUNY, and I'm conducting this interview as part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in the street interview video I'm working on for a goal called the Government and the project. The interview will be used to create a street interview video and submit it to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This recording will be used solely for this purpose. This interview information will be stored in College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluation and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any question? Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
I, Oscar Neza, give my informed consent to participate in this interview, be recorded and used as part of the student academy.
Okay, here are 4 questions that I'm going to ask you. If you have any about it, you can respond yes and then provide some clarification. What are the 3 branches of government? What does each branch do? Democrats and Republicans are the major parties. Can you name the third party? No, no. What is the basic process by which a bill becomes a law? Okay, thank you very much. My name is Seru Mondagijmana. I was supposed to conduct an interview with 2 people who are Frederic Okemba from the first interview, and the second is Oscar Habineza. So I had a couple of questions that I was supposed to ask them regarding to the government's branch and how they work, but unfortunately I found that both interviews didn't have more information about how the institutional government and branch of government works in order to implement different resolutions as well as the laws. I asked Frederic and Oscar about the 3 branches of the government. None from them was able to answer that question. So, from my own research, I found that the 3 branches of the U.S. federal government are legislative, executive, and judiciary branch. So the legislative branch is charged of making the laws. It is made of the Congress, Senate, and the House of Representatives. The legislative branch also drafts proposed laws. It confirms or it can reject even the presidential nominations for heads of federal agencies as their main duties. So, the second branch was the executive branch. The executive is charged of carrying the laws. It is made of the president, vice president, and the cabinet. Their key roles we know that the president leads the country. He or she is the head of state and the leader of the federal government, as well as the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. I found also that the president serves 4-year term and can be elected no more than 2 times. So the vice president supports the president. The third branch, I found that it is the judicial branch. The judicial branch is charged of interpreting the laws. It is made of Supreme Court and the other federal court. So the judicial branch interprets the meaning of laws, applies laws to individual, and decides if laws violate the Constitution. And this, it is comprised of the Supreme Court and the other federal court. So moving forward to the next question. The next question I asked my interviews about about the three parties found in the U.S. government. The Democrats and the Republicans are the major parties. I asked them to suggest the third party. Both they were not able to reveal the third party. From my research, I found that since the 1850, they have been the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Since the last major party realignment in the mid-20th century, the Democratic Party has been the center-left to the Liberal Party. We have the Liberal Party. The third party, I found that the third parties also can influence and can impact the elections in the U.S. government. The third party candidate, I found that they exert influence by focusing the election on particular issues and taking votes away from the major candidate. The third parties also have sometimes launched large campaigns and have won different public offices, but they have never won the presidential elections. Also, I have found that there are different process, some process by which a bill becomes a law. So after both, I've seen that firstly, both House and the Senate, after approving a bill in any identical form, so the bill is sent to the president. If the president approves of the legislation, it is signed and becomes a law. If the president takes no action, in 10 days, the Congress can decide that the bill can become a law. So there is a question that may rise regarding to, for instance, someone may ask about who draft a bill, or is there any other process that the bill can become a law? So I found that the member of Congress are responsible of drafting the bill. So the first step, the legislation can be written by anyone, but only a member of the Congress can introduce the bill for consideration. So the actual text of proposal bills is drafted by the legislative aides working either for members of Congress or for a congressional committee. After, if the representative has an idea for a new law, he or she becomes the sponsor of that bill and introduce it by giving to the next level, to the clerk of the house, by placing it in the what we call the hopper. So the clerk assigns the legislative number to the bill, and then the bill is introduced to in the House of Representatives. So I've found different steps where the bill becomes the law, first starting from in the committee. So it starts by like the comments about the bill, if it merits the government agencies, and then the bill can be assigned to subcommittee. So it is done by the chairman. The third, they start by hearing their comments. They continue in the subcommittees and report their findings to the full committee, and then it is voted by the full committee, and then the bill is reported to become the law. So beside that, I found that before the vote, there are different activities, including the debate. So the debate are important in the government election, because from the research done by the Pew the Pew Research Center, so the presidential and vice presidential debate have long played a significant role in Americans while choosing their leaders. So through the debate, the candidate take time to tell the audience about their ambitions, about their goals, and what they will be doing during their mandate. So also, this found that the sponsors play also another big role, because they impact the campaign by supporting their candidate to conduct the different effective campaigns. So beside that, so someone may ask also how his or her vote matter while voting. So may you ask yourself if it is important to vote. So it's obvious. If you ever think that just one vote in a sea of millions cannot make much of difference, so consider some of the closest elections in the US history. So they gave an example in 2000. So the nominee called the Aligo, so lost the electoral college only due to a few number of people in order to be considered as the president of the United States. So he was competing with George Walker Bush in the election. So but come down in the recount into the state of Florida, where Bush had won the popular vote by such a small margin that it triggered an automatic recount and a Supreme Court case. So they say by the end, only Bush won at the rate of 0.009, and they say that it was like 537 only votes. So that show how someone's vote matters. So you see that it's important to vote in the US. So also they say that someone's vote may not directly elect the president, but it's better, because once someone's vote is joined with other vote, so it becomes something big that contributes to the election of a candidate.
thank you. We've been talking about different branches of the US government. Here is a picture that englobe different branches of the government and how it is they are followed. So how the the main component of the legislative, executive, as well as the judiciary. So you can take a look and see how they follow each other for a brief explanation. Also, this second image is representing how a bill become a law. So how it is introduced to the committee as an idea, and they start by commenting in the House of Senate, and how it is passed by reading, and it is also it take another step on how it is referred to the House and the committee, and how they pass it to the committee and report that bill to the member of House and Senate until it become a law to its final stage. So I hope you will get more clarification in brief about how a bill become a law. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. This is the end.